Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is Lucky Khanum. Today I am going to present my topic Globalization and International Finance. What is globalization and international finance? Broadly construed, globalization is the process by which businesses or other organizations develop international influence or start operating on an international scale. It is used to describe the increasingly connectedness and interdependence global economic system and technological, sociocultural and political process. On the other hand, international finance is a study of institutions, policies, and practices that govern global financial management and financial aspects of global businesses. Then I discuss about the relationship between globalization and international finance. Nowadays, globalization and international economics are intimately linked with each other. The rise of globalization has led to more connections among financial markets. Globalization has created an interconnected world where information, goods, and services can flow more freely across borders than ever before. Financial globalization has altered the balance of risk in international capital markets. Another relationship is globalization has led to an increase in the flow of capital, and international finance manage and facilitate this capital flow. Globalization has led to the growth of global financial institutions like IMF, World Bank, which play a vital role in the international finance. There are three dimensions to globalization: economic globalization, political globalization, and cultural globalization. Economic globalization refers to the widespread international movements of goods and capital, services, technology, and information. Its main characteristics is economic integration of independence and international economics. Political globalization. It is often known as multilateralism, which involves the creation of multilateral organizations such as United Nations, International Monetary Fund, World Trade Organizations, and World Bank, which debates and regulate international politics and trade. Then cultural globalization refers to the transmission of ideas and values between countries. My next topic is anti-globalization movement. Anti-globalization movement is a social movement of critical of economic globalization. The political attitude of people and organizations that resist certain aspects of globalization. It is an effort to counter perceived negative aspects of counter process of globalization and opposed to new liberalism. The origin of this movement was traced back to the 1970s and first shown in 1980s when USA focused on alleged threat of competition from Japan. Anti-globalization has three main agents. They are labor standard, environmental, and cultural. In labor standard agent, we can see that many anti-globalization activists argue that contemporary globalization resulted in unfair conditions in many countries. In developing countries, poor workers work in poor workplaces and get very low wages. Environmental agent. Globalization has a negative impact on the environment. Large industrialized nations avoid environmental restriction by reallocating factories to less restricted areas. Cultural agent. There are also negative impact of globalization on cultural diversity. Many critics argue that Western nations exported their cultures by exporting goods and services. My next topic is the Economic and Monetary Union. The Economic and Monetary Union represents a major step in the integration of European Union economies. It involves the coordination of economic and fiscal policies, a common monetary policy, and a common currency, the euro. A monetary union in many ways resembles a fixed exchange rate regime, where countries retain distinct national currencies but maintain a desired rate of exchange. It also maintains a lower transaction cost in international trade. There are two components of an economic and monetary union. The first one is exchange rate union, and the second one is capital market integration. Now I discuss about some benefits and cost of economic and monetary union. Some benefits of economic and monetary union are: The first one is stimulus to intra-member trade. This means that in economic and monetary union, member countries use a common currency that removes the exchange rate risk and makes trade transaction more predictable and effective. Thus, stimulus the intra-member trade. Then, efficient allocation of resources. Fluctuating exchange rate impacts on the international trade, common currency, control allocation of investment, and increases the economic efficiency. Then forex reserves and seniorage benefit. This means that the member countries of economic and monetary union need not to hold foreign exchange reserve to protect their currency values. Thus, by reducing forex reserves can get greater economic stability. Then greater liquidity and rationalization of financial markets. It means that among member countries enhance greater liquidity in capital market and reduce transaction cost. The last one is price convergence and inflation controls. A common currency encourages price convergence and maintain a stable inflation rate. Then the cost of economic and monetary union. The first one is loss of exchange rate flexibility. This means that member countries of economic and monetary union give up control over individual monetary policies, which can limit their ability to respond to inflation or recession, which increase unemployment rate. Then transition cost. Transition cost means transitioning a common currency lead to administrative cost, such as producing a new currency notes, updating payment system. Then loss of monetary and inflation targeting autonomy. It means that with a common currency and fixed exchange rate, member countries cannot use exchange rate adjustment to regain competitiveness. And of inflation tax, it means that economic and monetary union has an aim to maintain price stability to be a member countries have reduced inflation rate and thus lost inflation tax. The last one is inflexibilities in economic policies. It means that a common monetary policy may not suitable for all member countries, for which interest rate may be higher for some countries and lower for others. That's all from me. Thank you everyone for listening me.